I really want to talk about Tropicalia because, like, I have to be honest, like, I felt so fucking left out, and it really hurt my feelings. I was just mad, bro. Like, I'll be fucking straight up, bro. I was pissed because that felt like
it was like the culmination.
Yeah, it was just like
so
wow, like
work.
nobody really wanted to help us get here.
Yeah, fuck this.
Hello and welcome back to the Us podcast.
Hey, podcast about us.
It's all of us, brothers and sisters and non-binary folk.
And welcome to the Actor Studio with who's the guy that does it?
With Rick Dalton.
Hey.
No,
Hello.
what's his name?
Oh wait,
His name's like James. James? That's his name.
Rick Dalton.
No, who the fucking guy inside the Actor Studio with?
Who knows?
The name escapes me.
It's so hard not to look at these cameras. Okay, so
I'm trying not to. So yeah, if you can, okay, I'm gonna break like what we're trying to do for a second.
Let's set up what we're trying to do. So
welcome to level 2, by the way.
Welcome to Us Podcast Level 2. This is gonna be kind of a weird episode. I have no idea how it's gonna go. But me and Chris felt a little kind of this comes so like last minute, like it's such a almost like an emergency episode.
This was gonna be kind of like one of our we had planned for this to be a pretty big episode, like as far as having a cool guest.
Because it was gonna be a podcast about podcasts. It was gonna be a podcast episode about being a Latino podcast. We're gonna talk to other Latino podcasts, and for whatever reason, it just like guests kept falling through. We just couldn't get it to align. And I think that caused a lot of frustration on both our ends. That and a lot of other stuff. But
yeah. I mean, but frustration in an overall otherwise successful season. Like, we got everybody we wanted.
Yeah, exactly.
We
but
talked to all the people. But these were stretches. But we had ends. We had good ends with all these particular people. And so it was, at least on my end, it was really disappointing. Like, when none of it went through, especially like when I take so much pride in like the energy I give now these days. So like taking time to write an email, like now, because again, you know how I like to write emails now. Now I just don't give a shit anymore. I'll just be like, hello, what's up? I'm just gonna
what
show
up, y'all?
What's up, y'all? I'm gonna be there. See you there. So for me to like sit down and be like, okay, be respectful, be decent, be professional. And then to like not get a response.
Yeah,
that's a little frustrating.
Not even a this isn't our thing.
Not even a courtesy, because like we took so much time to write these. Like me and Angel even had like a Skype call where we were like, dude, this fucking. Well, okay, so I'm kind of talking about a specific instance. I guess we can just jump into this now, because.
Well, okay, so we're still setting it up. So the other day, Chris just kind of like let me know that he was feeling a little unmotivated about the whole thing. Yeah. And I've been feeling certain types of ways as well about this whole podcast, and I think that called for like I keep saying, kind of an emergency episode where we just like wanted to sit down and throw it back to season 1 where me and Chris would sit down and talk about our feelings because we had some shit to say. I think season 1 we helped each other work through a couple of things, and they almost felt like necessary moments where it's just like, honestly, bro, I need to talk about this one thing because it's like weighing hard on my mind. And I think this is a thing that kind of is weighing on our minds too. Maybe like, would you say you perform when we do the podcast?
Oh yeah, definitely. Like right now, like I feel a big difference because I remember when we used to do these podcasts. For one, I was sadder, so my tone and my energy was a lot slower than it is now. You know, hey everybody, welcome to level 2. Blah blah blah.
What's up, fuckers?
What's up? Oh, I'm gonna fuck your mom. You know, I forgot I said that in the Introverted Funk one, which is so funny. Yeah, of course I perform it. But right now I'm liking just like the low energy, whatever. You know, like we have cameras, but we're not trying to like host an interview, you know.
Because I don't know about you, it can get pretty tiring.
Honestly.
Like, I feel pretty drained after a podcast episode, and I mean, we don't really
you have
do
to be
much.
because you have to be thinking of a funny thing to say, of good jokes, and like thankfully, it's helped us because I feel like our wits have gotten sharper, and like the bouncing
back
of
and
energy
forth.
between you and me has gotten so much better. But yeah, it is exhausting. It is more tiring just to do them. Before it wasn't it. It was exhausting to edit them and to promote. Back then, that was our trouble.
Yeah, dude, promoting, it's like, dude, we got to get better on these promos for these episodes. Because it was like, obviously, editing audio is a lot less taxing than editing together videos, you know?
And I've been editing all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is pretty much just like a behind the curtains.
Yeah, it's like a behind-the-scenes kind of episode.
Where you can just kind of see me and just kind of workshop like where we are with the show right now, what we're planning. I'll even tell you, I even want to talk about what we had planned, what we didn't get to do. Not guests, but like particular episodes that are just not gonna happen.
Yeah, just some plans, getting it, just being kind of like really intimate and very like minimal in this setup, as you can see. There's not gonna be a lot of like, hey, what's up, everybody at home? Take a shot for every burp Angel
no,
does.
like cuts to fucking Sylvester Stallone,
which are amazing, by the way. Like, I want to fucking highlight Chris's editing, Chris's fucking fantastic edits for these episodes.
Thank
man.
you.
They make me laugh so much.
I try to keep them entertaining as possible.
Yeah, very,
whenever
very
I can
funny.
find the space and the time.
And like we, which is so there goes a good thing about this new format. It's like new ways to be funny, which is great, and like new ways to express our comedy sensibilities, because all those jokes are very much you jokes, you know, like very Chris Carmona jokes in these cuts. But then that's a lot more work to do. Yeah. And sometimes episodes don't come out on time. Sometimes they get rushed.
They've been very lagging because before, if you're a new fan, like it's probably gonna sound ancient, but our first season, our whole thing was, hey, it's Monday. You know what that means. But now it's just like, it's the new week, which isn't bad. That's what I'm saying. We've been consistent. Yeah. That's why I don't feel guilty about the late postings.
Yeah, and it's like, it's also because we do the podcast. I mean, I can only speak for myself. I know you. Look at Oscar in the background. Wilfred, shut the fuck up. Shut the. You can speak for how you feel, but like, I feel so busy this year.
Oh yeah, dude, this has been our busiest year.
And it's like, it's not. I wouldn't say it's overwhelming me, but it's definitely taking its toll. Like, I'm keeping it together for now, but.
Well, we have 5 more to go, bro.
Yeah,
you're there.
Yeah, we're in the home stretch. Yeah. But man, it's just like like there's so much we're thinking about. So, me and Chris are also in the middle of planning this big event for December 14th, which you will hear about very soon. Yeah. And even then, me and Chris aren't the one that's most involved in organizing it.
So, I'll just recap for our listeners. We were gonna do a big. I'll tell you what the idea was, because we're not gonna do it.
Fucking our stupid ass.
We're gonna do this one day. I swear to you, we're doing this one day. It's just not gonna be this year. But I told Angel, I was like, bro, I know what our last episode's gonna be. He's like, what? I was like, fucking 24-hour live stream podcast.
He's like, I don't know what we're gonna fill those 24 hours with, but we're doing it. And I was like, that sounds dope.
That sounds dope. Because I'm thinking, like, dude, we could do drugs on the fucking podcast. Like, we could do shrooms and shit. Like, fucking.
Because I was like, dude, 24-hour party?
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck yeah.
That was our whole plan. And then, thankfully, Sarah got wind of this. And after we had done our episode, and she actually stopped. Shout out to Sarah, by the way. She's fucking amazing for holding this whole event down together. But yeah, after the Border X episode, she met up with us, and she's just like, hey, let's do something cool. And this crazy idea of a 24-hour podcast got now whittled down to not whittled down, but like it got
focused.
It focused, yeah, and molded to now an event for a cause.
A fundraiser event for a nonprofit charity. We're going to keep it vague. Nonprofit charity at a dope-ass location with some dope-ass bands.
In our hometown.
In our hometown of Bell.
In our hometown, bro. That's crazy.
Dope-ass DJs, dope-ass vendors, food vendors, all kinds of vendors. And it's gonna be
and bands, dude, bands that we like would never imagine.
It's gonna be a combination of so many incredible people in one night, and it's kind of scary because it's like a month away, and it doesn't seem real, but things are happening.
You know what else didn't seem real? The Introverted Funk video.
You're right.
That we did, and we just saw.
We just saw it, and you will see it.
Stop addressing the camera, fool.
Oh yeah.
Look at me. It's us.
You will see it again
Hell
when we
yeah.
see it
Yeah.
in the full. Shout out Jose.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, Jose really came.
Fucking king of the edits. But yeah, so all of this is going on, and I'm going to school, and I'm doing internships, and I got my school job, and I'm trying to fucking be a writer as well, and it's like all this shit. It's all great and it's all fun and they're all good problems, and I feel stupid when I complain about it just because, you know, everyone tells you like be grateful for like what you have, etc. And so it's like anytime I start feeling bad about all the good shit that's happening in my life, it makes me not validate my problems or issues, and I'm just like, I'm telling myself, get over it. You know?
Elaborate.
Because it's like, who wouldn't want to be in the position I am at my job? Who wouldn't want to be like
at your age?
Yeah, at my age. Who wouldn't want to be about to graduate with a degree? Who wouldn't want a job with free housing that I barely really do, like outside of the required things?
Yeah, dude.
You know, there's all these good things in my life, and yet
dude.
Life is so hard. I think about how hard daily life is.
You know how you say that celebrities or whatever have a responsibility to know their influence or their effect on people? I feel like I've had to learn that. Of course, it's on brand that I compare myself to celebrity, but I do feel that when I think about, like, I'll have moments where I just feel shitty and I'm like, dude, like, fuck, like nobody fucks with me, I suck or whatever, like, and then I look at my life and I'm like, dude, like, how many people though, like, would kill to be like where I'm at? Like, I should be fucking grateful, because like me 2 years ago would kill to be where I'm at. Movie out, album on the way, TV show out, or not TV show, like digital series out with me too.
That's true.
Fucking, it's just like, man, like I've gotten to do so much. This fucking this 2
podcast.
seasons of a podcast, like
Yeah.
full seasons, dope ass thumbnails, a food show, bro. Like I forgot we even did this fucking.
Yeah,
food
we have
show
this
together.
food show that no one's seen yet.
It's coming out. It's gonna happen. Like I just have to edit it. That's it. That's it. Literally.
We all know how much Chris loves editing.
Yeah, no, but I live a great life, and yeah, I like that you've found that out in your way too. And honestly, I have to say, from the last time we've gotten to just sit down and talk like this, you've grown a lot. You've grown a lot. Like I like that I don't even have to come at you with my beliefs anymore. I like that we met at the right time, where I was getting those beliefs like beaten into me just because I was rebuilding myself. So then I would like beat it onto others just because that felt like a cool way to reinforce it in my own head. And I like that it stayed with a lot of you, like our whole thing where we end every episode with, because even when we lose, we win.
Mm-hmm.
That's been really cool, because
Man,
like
that's been a hard mentality to.
It's been a hard mentality to keep up, but you know what? It in little ways or more than one, like it does. Like the other day, you know, when you guys fed me, like that, I didn't expect to get fed. I was starving, and you guys just felt that I was just like, I'm starving.
It's like, here, dude.
I was trying not to show, and you know, you guys fed me.
People pulled through.
Yeah.
And if we're comparing like season 1 us, like I think you've definitely chilled out a lot more.
Yeah.
As you can tell with the glasses on Chris's face, Chris is much older, much wiser than he used to be. He doesn't say guys anymore.
My thumbnail shot.
There you go, and this is my thumbnail shot.
That's the dude. That's it. I love our show, dude. We're so fucking funny, because that is gonna be a thumbnail. Like, I'll see to it. I'm the editor.
We all know that's gonna be the thumbnail.
And I think that's what's crazy about our show. It's like whatever we say we're gonna do, like we get it done.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, that wasn't always the case.
Yeah, not all the time. As much as we show like the highlight reels of our life, there's a lot of fucking ideas that just don't pan out for whatever reason. I like to attribute it to, and this is, I think this now after doing the podcast for so long, it's just like people keep sleeping on us.
Oh yeah.
You know, but that kind of.
I'm not mad about it anymore, though.
That kind of confident mentality is hard to get, because it does hurt sometimes when you don't get recognition from the people you thought would recognize you, or these episodes with people that you were excited to do sometimes don't work out.
I'll put it this way, so that we can get to this quickly. Tropicalia just happened, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this entire, like, we haven't really been saying this on camera, but behind the cameras, me and Angel, we were planning, obviously, to make that be our sequel to our Young Love series that we did. Omar, Temperex, Bane's World, Michael Sayer, Aolani.
Everyone
Boyo,
pulled up.
Like, I don't know if Boyle didn't play Tropicalia.
Katsuoso.
Yeah, like, we thought, how perfect that same lineup at a level 2 size festival, you know, like seeing them again, seeing where Omar's at now. Now he's a fucking superstar.
Now he's a fucking
Seth
playboy,
Meyer.
dude. Now he's a fucking.
Dude, fuck you,
now
Omar Apollo.
Now he's the fucking
you.
coolest guy, dude.
Why did this happen?
I was thinking about our interview the other day and how much of a nerd like he is. This is no shade to Omar Apollo. I love this dude. I call him a nerd in the best way possible. And now he's this fucking like heartthrob, fucking super sexy guy. Like where'd this like where'd this come out from? I guess he was. I guess now his onstage persona has fused with his outside.
He could still be a nerd, but yeah. Anyway, we were trying to do that, and you know what better perfect companion pieces, right? Young Love and the Tropicalia Part 1, Part 2. We kept pitching it to people like it's gonna be if the Young Love series was our fucking Infinity War, this is our end.
That was our end game.
We were trying to get like Me Too on board to help us out, and then it just
didn't happen,
and we missed it. And thankfully, I was off social media that week, but you weren't. And
I was on social
and I could
media.
tell, and I could feel. I want to talk about, honestly. I really want to talk about Tropicalia because, like, I have to be honest. Like, I felt so fucking left out, and it really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I felt super left out. I was mad that Justin went. I'm not gonna lie, Justin. I was mad seeing Wonk's there. I was mad that Abel went. I was just mad, bro. Like, I'll be fucking straight up, bro. I was pissed because that felt like.
It was like the culmination.
Yeah, it was just
so
wow, like
work.
nobody really wanted to help us get here. Like everybody went and nobody even thought like, come on, like Chris and Angel are a part of this. It just felt it really hurt, and I had to get over that this weekend because I was like, you know what, if it didn't happen, whatever, you know. And that I think I found the root of why I'm anti-adult. I'm anti like. You know how like I talked about, and maybe I don't know if I talked about it on the show or if I talked about it just in general, but like it might have been on the show, but where I talked about how I unfollowed certain people because I'm like, if you don't, was that on the show?
I think so. He's like, I don't want, like, if you don't give me the respect or whatever.
Yeah, okay,
like,
then
I
I
don't
talked about it on the show. So I've lightened up from that, but I remember because then I think, why do I get this intense about it? And I'm like, the Tropicalia thing reminded me, like, oh, this is why, because every time I try to be a part of something, whether it's like my old high school friends, whether it's like just different friend groups, like even when like it was just Tony, me, and Jose, like I felt like I had to force myself in that because I'm such like the odd man out. I'm like my own thing. Like, you know, they're a particular vibe of people, and I'm a different. But I'm like, oh, I wanna be a part of this, and like, okay, and then I feel like I'm just like looming over it, and it never feels like I ever get accepted. So that's why I guess I'm very elitist when it comes to things that, like, whether it's comes down to like being my friend or like being a part of our show, being in our show, being in our like little circle, because it's like you didn't let me in. So I feel like, well, now that I have something that you want, I'm going to be just as selective with you. You know? And it sucks. It makes me sad, but I'm learning to like basically be less dramatic about it.
That's all we can do. Yeah, because it does suck feeling left out. Like, I get like that at Coachella too. I'm just like, man, Coachella looks cool, even though like in my head I'm like, I probably have a miserable time. But just the fact that like you're seeing like all these people like enjoy this moment and you're not, you're just like, whatever. But I think you told me this, like there's always next year. Like that festival is not going away. All our friends, they're not going away. You know, like that shit.
Absolutely.
How many awesome concert experiences collectively have we had, you know? Because we don't go to one music festival. It's not going to change the world. No. But that's hard to put into your brain when it's happening.
In the moment when it's happening. Like I said, thankfully for me, I was off that week. So I was just seeing, like, when I signed back in this week, I was just kind of seeing, like, the aftermath. But even then, it was just, like, because it was, like, fuck, you have no... Like, the captions, like, if I wasn't already hurtful that I didn't go, the captions were no better. Like, one said, fuck, you don't know how much I needed this Tropicalia event. Like, fuck, when I say this shit was amazing, I'm like, great, I got it. I fucking get it. I didn't go. Fuck you. Watch me rub it in your face when we're fucking headlining fucking Tropicalia. Not headlining, we'll be there. We'll be on the
me and Chris somehow will be playing in a band at Tropicalia.
Foo, we will be the Us podcast. They had Foo's Gone Wild there.
But he was rapping.
Well, we can just be doing a live podcast there. They even had Locatora Radio this year too. I'm pretty sure they did like some panel. They were just there.
Yeah, they were just there. They were just
Shout
kicking
out.
it. But yeah, man. Yeah, shout out.
Shout out, like
Radio.
just side eye.
Yeah, I don't know. Where was the conversation?
Hold for that plane.
Where's the conversation going? We talked
Being
about
left
Tropicalia,
out.
being left out.
We have to accept it.
Seeing the aftermath of it.
It's in the aftermath.
I had something. It's. in the
I was talking about the
aftermath
captions.
part.
I was like, the captions were really hurting.
Yeah. Right before that captions thing, I was gonna say something about the aftermath. I don't know. Let's see. Hold on. Let me think.
We're still talking about Tropicalia. You can find anything in there.
Yeah, I know. Hold on.
No, we're good.
What the
This
fuck?
would be cool to put in the episode.
What the
This is
fuck?
for them to see how we can get back on track.
Like it was there. You said Tropicalia and aftermath.
I'll keep
Oh,
going. Okay.
No, you talked about being like off of social media, and I was on social media.
Well, we're back. Okay, yeah,
Yes, and I was on social media, and I was watching all these videos going about, but. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I had a funny thing I wanted to say. I was like, I was more.
What a build up.
Yeah, I was more upset.
Right.
That-
Yeah, I
no.
can tell. Oh, sorry.
No, I was more upset at the fact that I didn't get to see Drake at Camp Flogna than anything else. And people were so ungrateful, those pieces of shit. You should have fucking thanked Drake for coming out and blessing everybody at that concert with a live performance.
I'll quote Tyler, the Creator. Beaner did feel no ways,
Dude, one of my favorite songs
Mine
that
too.
Drake
I'm
has
like,
ever
damn.
made.
And Tyler's like, he doesn't do album cuts. What the hell are you guys doing?
And people are like, Frank Ocean.
What a weird thing
Wilfred,
for
get
Drake.
the fuck on my face.
Wilfie, get out. Please.
So yeah, I wanted to say that Drake comment. Love you, Drake. If you're seeing this, if
Drake,
we
you
ever
got
meet,
love from us, bro. We respect you.
Drake signed by WME, so maybe I'll see him one day. Love you, Drake.
Peace, baby.
So yeah, this is like a get shit off our chest. Okay, so
Well, yeah, no. So okay, so the
You wanna
Tropicalia
continue?
one was something that was supposed to happen. So the next episode that we were planning on doing that hadn't happened was the podcast one. I mean, it's kind of what we're doing now, but
yeah, this is what that turned into.
yeah.
But like we were gonna do one with Ugly Primo as well. Like, we
There you
wanted a
go. That's
Primo
the one. Yeah, we were trying to do one with Ugly Primo, and we sent an email, and Fu, you didn't respond. Why? This will be funny. This will be funny to show you when we are friends with them. Just
You
be
like Chris's tweet? What the fuck, man? Pull
You-
that tweet out.
Here, receipts, bro.
Come
You
on,
liked it.
dog.
You're aware of it.
Come on,
Why
man.
couldn't you just give me a no?
Yeah, but I think it's
I appreciate a no. You know, we've asked people too, like even reaching out for our event, like artists, and then people just don't get back to me.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
it's a little hurtful.
like it's cool. Just be like, sorry, dog, it doesn't fit in my schedule,
Yeah.
or like, nah.
We're understanding.
Yeah.
I don't get what people are like. Like, okay, I'll shout her out. Gucci Mara, an artist that we're aware of. She wrote back. Oh, cause I asked her, and she wrote back like today. She's like, oh, sorry. Like it was late, but I was like, hey, that's okay, no worries. I said we'll get you for something else, but I was like,
Yeah.
thanks for
fucking-
writing back.
A fucking response.
Like
please. Dude,
usually when people write that, like I felt genuine. I was like, yeah, thanks for writing back. Like nobody wrote back.
Yeah.
That was really nice of you.
like the homie Arena's fucking wrote
And
back
I was,
to
oh,
you,
dude, I'm gonna show those DMs right now, cause that's awesome. I love that I made that happen.
Yeah, and it's like if he can fucking reply, motherfucker.
Yeah, if motherfucking Arenas Marihuanas himself can reply, what's your excuse for
yeah,
this?
what the fuck is yours? Just say yes or no.
No anger, but like seriously, come on, like let's get real.
Yeah, and so there've been a lot of like missed podcast opportunities, but they always turn into something like this. Like this wouldn't have exist. This episode wouldn't exist if we hadn't had all those setbacks or
right.
or
And you know what?
turns.
I have to say, like, I'm really proud of what this season has become, but I think it kind of was this episode. I think I would rather have this episode in our lineup than any Tropicalia or any cool flashy special guest interview, because at the end of the day, like, it's the Us podcast. It's about all of us, but like it's also about us too.
And I think that's a major part that maybe has been missing from this season. Like, you have a lot of us in it. We talk a lot. You have a lot of our words and our jokes and shit. Like, they've been some of the best episodes we've ever made.
Oh yeah.
But I think something's been missing, and I don't really know if we can even capture that. We talked about this a little bit
in the first episode.
Yeah, and how the podcast setup has changed and how we've changed. Have you ever felt like you had to force it, and it can be whatever you want it to be? But during this season, like, has it ever felt forced?
Sometimes I felt like I've had to force it. If I had to be honest, like I'll call out episodes. Like at first I was not feeling the Rambo one, and I told you about that. Cause that just
Chris thought it was gonna be like.
Look, listen.
throwaway.
Also, another thing that's different too is just we're stoners now. Like, if we were like,
True.
if we liked weed last year, we're fucking balls to the wall stoners now. Like, I'm high at this moment. Oh, I hope that's a gift someday. Like, I'm high at this moment.
At this moment.
No, like, but. Oh, so
No.
I've pretty much been getting high every episode, and that one I felt really mad at myself for doing it, because I was like, dude, we had it had been like a week since we'd seen the movie. It was kind of just bad timing because we were supposed to shoot it the next day, and it was delayed a week, and
it wasn't as fresh in our memories.
And it honestly maybe would have been a better episode, but like, I mean, I think that episode's good, and I like it. It ended up being really funny, and I just had to add a lot of visuals to it to make it funny. But it's like, it's that it felt like a video essay. It just felt more like.
And we said some dope shit.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, I don't think we have any bad episodes, but in that one, that one felt like it was gonna be more work, and I don't like that. I don't like that feeling. I don't think podcasts should be that draining.
Yeah, I told you I kind of expressed that at first when we were just talking about the video format in general. I was like, damn, things are gonna be a lot harder, and I think they have been harder.
Well, granted, yeah.
Yeah, like, granted, they've been harder. And a part of me definitely misses the fact that we can just go to your room and record them 2 hours and then boom, done.
Yeah, but I've really come to, like, even though it's like a lot of work, like, and I'm like starving myself, like, just like mentally and physically, just like doing them. I'm like the end result, it's like, I feel like this weird, like, starving artist where, like, I finally understand what that term means. Like, I look at it and I said, like, even though I have to go through so much to, like, get these to happen in, like, a span of 2 days, because I just fucking lag it, I'm like, these are amazing. Like, the thumbnails are sick. I'm proud of our intro. I'm just proud of our creativity as a podcast in general.
And Chris will call me and be like, I got an idea. What if the episode comes out Thursday?
I have not pulled that one yet.
Yeah. You did it once when you were like, what if it comes out like closer to, like, Halloween? Maybe like Wednesday, Thursday, or
just
something.
Give me some time.
Yeah, and then I'll be like, oh, dude, it's cool because this week we have a break. Oh my god, thank God. Okay, great. Okay, it's like, good. That works out so good. I think that's what we should do. We should take a break this week. It's like, so smart. What a great move.
I don't know whether to blame that on just being rationally tired, or it's me being it's stoner responsible adult wrestling, because, like, some days I just want to just fucking, like, vibe.
It's like, get your shit done.
I know, and the response is like, this would be easy if you just took 2 days out of your fucking weekday to do these.
And you're just like, fuck, am I?
But I'm high. So
I think it's kind of like how some of us put off essays to the last minute because that's the only way we know how to work. Like, we can't. True. Some people like to work a page and a half today, maybe 2 pages tomorrow. Some people are all like, this shit's got to get turned in 3 hours. Kermit the Frog. Kermit the Frog gift. And I love that shit. And that's the only way I know how to work. And so like maybe that's the same for you. Yeah. You're like, it's fucking Monday. Okay.
Right, this doesn't really need much editing. Oh fuck, we need to pull up that video. PB, can you give me that video, please?
Like, oh, okay. Oh, go to YouTube. Get this video.
Like, no, it's a whole WAV file, not an NOV. It's gonna take 3 hours.
You're like, hey, would it be cool if we upload like at 7 p.m.? Like, is that cool?
Like, is it cool if we upload at 11? That'd be sick.
Like, the episode will be up later tonight. It's like 11 p.m.
Like 12:33. Hey, everyone, it's up. Better watch it. I'll be fucking mad.
Yeah. It's like, I fucking took a lot of time to do this shit. Come on.
And watch it right away, because otherwise I'm going to fucking hate you.
Like and subscribe.
That's our culture.
And yeah, it's like, that comes with its pros and cons again. Like, episodes are really funny, and you get, like, the video component makes so many good jokes even funnier. I don't know. And then you get to see us having a good time. It's fun.
Yeah.
I like it. But again, challenging, tiring.
What's been your most favorite episode so far?
The one I've had the most fun? I had a lot of fun in Instant Crush. Like,
that was a good one. I forget we have that.
Yeah, I just remember just being like, oh, this is fun. Like, everyone's having a good time. Like, I just remember thinking, everyone's having a good time right now. This is great.
That's like that is for sure like the TV movie of our season. It's just got there's a lot of just beautiful moments. It's the longest episode. It's got a like nice little sentimental ending. Yeah.
A lot of knowledge dropped.
Yeah, a lot of fun moments. Yeah, I like that one a lot.
Yeah, it's been cool. But
I think yeah,
man. This like. I talk about how much this podcast like is so much fun to make, but it can get sometimes it definitely feels like a job, because it's like,
okay, so I want to ask you, because my responsibilities on the show are editing, mostly promotion, and I mean you and I, we kind of run the socials together.
You're kind of social guy.
But you help me out when I'm when I'm slacking. Okay. Like you pick up right. So I it feels like an equal. Like I do a lot of it just cause like I'm on it anyway. Mm-hmm. But like if I'm ever like slacking, you fill in for me there, which is it's like a weird cool energy thing. So those are my responsibilities. Like what would you say your response? Because I'm honestly curious. Like I wonder what makes you exhausted.
Okay, if I'm being super honest, the drive. Like, I live in Northridge, as everyone knows, and last year it was easy to do episodes in Northridge because it was just audio. So sometimes Chris would come to me, sometimes I would go to Chris. Like, it was like a pretty good trade back where sometimes, like, the burden wasn't that much on me. But since we're doing video episodes, we can't really ask Oscar to go to Northridge, and so they're all here. And so, like, most episodes, I'm coming straight from either school or I'm most of the time coming straight from work. And so I'm always kind of entering these episodes already having experienced the whole day and already being exhausted and having to kind of like shake all that off, get into podcast mode and perform at that, like basically like perform. Like it gets pretty exhausting.
Yeah, then get high and then drive.
Yeah,
back.
and then get high because I want to enjoy the time I have with my friends because I live in fucking Northridge. Yeah. And then drive back to Northridge.
Fuck, dude. I never considered the drive.
Yeah.
I never considered the drive.
And, like, it's not that big of a deal, you know? It's just driving. But it's the time that it takes, really. It's not... I don't complain because it's like, fuck, I gotta fucking drive. I hate driving. I actually like driving. Lyft is some of the easiest money I've ever made.
Shout out. Both of us were both employees.
Yeah, because I just drive. I get money. Cool. I go to different places, meet cool people sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Even better. And so the drive is a big one. I think just we kind of handle scheduling guests kind of equally as well, you know? And so just like getting guests and figuring out, just kind of like being the organizer of everything, just being like, okay, like, are we on track? What have we done? What do we need to do? And who's the best person to get this done. Basically, it's like, okay, this person, Chris, is closer to this person, so Chris, you handle reaching this person out. I'll reach out to this person.
And I have to say, okay, because Angel deserves a lot of credit too, because otherwise no one will ever know he did this. We like pretty much handpicked our guests before we even shot anything, and that was to your detriment.
Yeah, we had our calendar of, used to be Chris wanted to do 25 episodes because he was like, level 2, step it up, 25
full season Netflix show.
And then I remember before we started, I was like, Chris, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't think I can handle 25. And he's like, okay, let's step it down.
15.
And then once we saw the 15 episodes, because we were like, okay, if we have 15, how many do we want to have guest episodes? It's like, okay, let's do half guest episodes. What do we fill the other half? Okay, some topics we want to talk about. So they were vague. It's like, for sure, like a marijuana episode.
Yeah.
For sure.
Fuck yeah, weed.
Yeah, for sure, like a Latinos in Hollywood episode.
The Hollyfoos?
Yeah, and then that turned into Hollyfoos. It's like, maybe like an Is It Racist episode turned into Rambo. And so it was like, maybe we can talk to like all these people. And so we had our list of 15 episodes, like our tentative calendar for the year. Yeah, Tropicalia double episode, Halloween episode with Boyo, like, you know, all this shit was on there. And so we had that lined up, and so it was like, okay, now that we have what we need to do, let's get it done.
Yeah, whereas last year it was just like,
very on the fly.
do you know someone named Young Gatita? I'm like, like, she's cool, we should have her on. It's like,
all right, bring her on.
That's a level up for you.
There you go. And now she's fucking
check your steps now. Oh, love you, YG.
my fucking favorite thing ever.
Shout out.
Home is where I want to be. That song is forever a Young Gatita song for me.
Sorry, Talking Heads.
Sorry. Cancelled. So yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, our roles. So doing the podcast has definitely been a struggle this season, but again, we've made some of the best episodes. I think I feel like every episode we make, I just say this is the best one. Like, they just keep getting better and better, and I'm like, man, we're so funny.
Yeah. Like not only are we just good, we just gotten better as like hosts together. I feel like, especially now that I'm actually researching guests and like, or at least doing a little bit of just,
as you can tell by the glasses.
Yeah. Now that I look into my work a little more seriously, and now that I actually look into who the guests are, or at least prepping interesting questions and thinking of them ahead of time, writing them down, reading them, like in the Introverted Funk, I got my fucking book right there because I'm like, I don't want to fuck this up. It's good because we level up just as also like, again, remember before I just said, I remember before last year I used to just say, this isn't a real podcast, Angel, whatever.
It's like, whatever. It's just like, we don't have to do things like they
exactly.
were.
Yeah, we don't have to fucking promote. We don't have to design our fucking Instagram, which we did. Like, we don't have to do this shit. We're not a podcast. And like now I think it's cool that like we take it seriously, but we don't take ourselves seriously, which I love.
Yeah, because
it's still us.
It's still,
but
it's
we
still
take the production seriously.
Love.
Yeah, we take the production seriously. We take the time and effort it takes to make these seriously, and that's why I have to. I'm glad we're talking about this because I have to say, I'm also mad at the numbers.
Boom.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Looking at y'all. Well, I'm not mad, but I again, because I forget. Again, history repeats itself. I forget that this was what the first season was like too, and then it wasn't until we dropped Young Love that people, the Homars, you know, came into our pond and were like, hey, look, they have more episodes. Check it out. And that's how we got known. And so I'm like, you know what? Okay, like, I'm not saying we have to wait for the big one to like, you know, come, but like with anything else, it's not always gonna hit the first weekend. It's not always gonna hit box office weekend, you know. Like, it's just one of those things that, again, like I've accepted with every piece of my work, is just something that's gonna get its appreciation.
It's like getting locked and loaded, being like, one day they're gonna be here
and
forever.
You know what? I make myself more. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I just want to say I make myself come more and more at peace with the fact that like I'm just contributing more to like the content people can feed off of once they finally find out about us. Like, let's say if people find out about us midway our third season, like more people, you know, like hella people. They're like, whoa, they have like 2 seasons before this that I get to enjoy, and I really love these guys, and it feels good that we built up that much work to that point. You know?
Yeah, like I
So
just discovered a great podcast called Script Notes.
Shout them out.
And they have fucking episodes dating back to 2011.
Wow.
So it's just like I have so much I can listen to now. Granted, they fucking popped pretty soon when they started because they were already established screenwriters, and there was no real podcast with like actually people writing shit that's getting made done.
Yeah.
But it's very similar to our podcast where you see these creators grow as the season goes along.
And I forget, like that the whole charm of, and why I like the podcast was because it's always been small. Like I'm like, why don't we have bigger numbers? You know, like why do more videos have more numbers than one? It's like, but that's always been our thing. Like it's never been that. We've never said like, oh, we got like so many fucking followers or listeners. It was just like we have a group of we have like a dedicated fan base, and like the fact that just 2 guys from Bell were able to even just rile up those people and like get us all united, like that's cool. Like,
because I think we make episodes for ourselves, like more than anything. Like we don't really do episodes like, ooh, who's popular right now that we can talk to. It's just like, who's, like you said.
That's kind of what it was, because like that's kind of where we were steering towards, and I feel that's why I'm glad like that, like the Ugly Primo, Tropicalia, that stuff didn't happen, because that was like, what do people like? What are people into right now? You know.
I like how you mentioned in the Introverted Funk episode how you were just like, if I have a platform to put my friends on, I'm going to do that. And like that was a lot of season 1. And I think that we still had that in this season. We had Chris Sol on, you know, like we're still like giving our
most
homies.
viewed episode of the season.
Good job, Chris.
Good on you, Chris Sol. Uncle Chris.
It was that arm wrestling thing, man. People love it.
The coolest shit ever, dude. I think that's my favorite episode.
A buff woman dominates scrawny
dude, just
nerd.
put that in Pornhub, like with that title.
And then like
buff woman dominates meek beta male.
Beta male Latino nerd.
Beta male Latino androgynous.
Yeah, put that shit on Pornhub.
Love you, Chris. Yeah, no, that was
so
fun.
Talking about season 3, does season 3 excite you?
Absolutely. I just don't know what it, like, the possibilities are sky high. It's like, no. And then the possibilities are just like, it could be our most minimal season, you know, depending on like if we're in different locations, if we're doing different stuff. Who knows? But I'm excited because like I'm thinking, like, you know, I've been thinking, okay, I'll be honest with you. I've been thinking a lot about the longevity of this podcast. I'm like, how long could the Us podcast, like the OG, not our spin-offs that we're like planning, but like how long can this go on for? Like, or where should it end? Because when I look at this, like this, like the way I'm seeing it, I'm like, this to me feels like not that we can't do other podcasts together, but the Us podcast, the story of Angel and Chris coming up from Southeast LA and becoming fucking superstars. Like, I feel like that's gonna end at some point.
Yeah, because it has to. Like this, we have to grow up and like achieve that success eventually, and like
because then that feels like we did, like we finished, like
we finished the narrative.
We finished the narrative of the Us podcast. Like the Us podcast is finished. Mm-hmm. So until we get it, like we're gonna be using it up for a minute.
And I guess that means like what does making it mean? Like when does our story? When does the Us podcast version of us? When does our story end?
That's kind of exciting because who knows what kind of iterations it'll have? Who knows if it'll get picked up on bigger things or.
So if it gets to the point where you're too busy, you would make a series finale for the Us podcast. Like you would want to do
probably, yeah. Like it would be like this is our last season. We're pulling all the strings together. Like hopefully by then we will have curated and nurtured. I want to say. I'm gonna pitch a number like that. This is a very millionaire thing to do, to just pitch a number. I want 5 podcasts under our umbrella by the time we're out of here.
5
under the Us podcast umbrella.
Wow.
5 different ones. Female POC, hopefully, like mostly.
How long does that look like in your head?
Like 3 more years. You
can see yourself doing the podcast for 3 more years?
Like max, yes. Mm-hmm. Less I can see also. Like I can see this podcast ending next season 3. I could see that.
Wow.
Because it seems like things look like they're coming soon.
That is something that would be cool to talk about. Things do feel like they're coming soon, but there's nothing like. It's like this feeling almost because there's really nothing on the horizon.
Right.
But there's just this feeling.
That's why I've been calling it rumbling because it just feels like it feels like that feeling right before you feel an earthquake and you're just like.
Too many things are lining up. Like too many things.
It's really exciting.
Yeah, too many things are like coming at a consistent pace where I feel like one day very soon, things are just gonna, like it's like a ball is getting pushed up a hill and then once it just like topples over, like it's just fucking downhill and it's just like you can't control it because I feel like we've been accumulating so much. It's like we've been charging up.
So much good energy.
All these different similes. It's like we're charging up, and it's like we're also rolling a ball up a hill.
It's great. It's on brand.
Yeah, it's like we're charging up, and the day is coming where we just unleash it all. And
because
when
that
day comes, I will sadly love to series finale the Us podcast. Because you're right. It is a narrative, of these, of two young, scrappy, poor brown boys from Southeast LA, with hopes and dreams.
And so that way, it's short and it'll stay true to its time capsule thing where it doesn't outstay its welcome. Where it's like, okay, like now they're just talking about, hey, Black Panther 3, what do we think about it? That's my example.
Check back on the Us podcast season 5 God Loco.
I'm not saying we can't do that together, but I don't want the Us podcast to be that. I think the Us podcast is our story. It's like it's our movie. It's like this is the movie. I kept telling Angel like one day we're gonna do an Us podcast movie. But I even feel like I think every time we do these, like this is the movie. Mm-hmm. This is it. Like we're living it.
Because you don't have to recreate this because biopics kind of like take info from different places and piece together a story. This is like you can literally start from episode 1 and go to whatever the series finale is, and here's the story. Like you can have a narrator fucking bookend the whole thing. It's like you're about to listen to the tale of two boys.
And it, like let's say the Us podcast is a 5-season voyage of these brown kids. Like maybe it could be like just so it's fun. I imagine it like you see like first season's early beginning, level 2, they're on the come up. Level 3, hey, they're there. Level 4 is like okay, they're there. They're juggling what this life is like now. Like now they're fully season 5 is they're fully entering this. It's
the point of no return.
The point of return. It's time to go. It's time to wrap this narrative up.
I never thought of it that way. That's really nice.
Because then it's like we did it. We did the podcast.
I think the way I wouldn't mind that is if the podcast morphed to fit our lives.
Yes.
Whereas I think this season we're morphing to fit the podcast format because we wanted to try level 2. We wanted to try to really put kind of that production value behind it and that effort. And yeah, it's been difficult because again, we've had to move our lives around. Like all like our lives don't stop for this podcast. We don't make any money from the podcast, we only do it because we love doing it. And so I think going forward, like because we are in the positions we are, the podcast has to kind of morph with our changing lives. And so that's interesting because I don't know what that looks like going forward.
Me neither. And that's what keeps this show exciting for me. That's what keeps me driven. That's why I don't mind having to like just you wanna know how I edit the episodes, bro? It'll be Sunday night. I'm hanging out with Jasmine and I say go home because I have to edit. And I'll go to like my liquor store. I'll fucking get an MD 50/50. I'll smoke the shit out of my fucking stizzy shouts, and I just power through drunk and blazed as hell. I'm just like, this night's gonna be long.
This is the first I'm hearing about this.
I'm hungry. Let's just make this happen. And that's why there's a lot of random moments, just because I'm just like, dude, we fucking.
If I just
picture me shirtless, just like.
I was gonna mention you're shirtless every time you call for notes. You're like, okay, how does this look like?
I'll be like, yo, Angel, like I had like trouble with like no.
Yeah, I want you to look at this and tell me it was funny or not. And then he's like, no, wait, hold on. And he like flip the camera around and be like, okay, so like this part right here. Do
you think this is too much? Should I erase this?
Yeah, like too much, huh? Yeah, it's too much. Yeah,
I knew it. I just wanted to hear you say it. I always say that. I'm like, I knew it. I just wanted to hear you say it.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do that. Okay, thanks.
That's the inner workings of how the show gets made.
Yeah. So there you go. So I'm cool with kind of ending it like around now. So,
me too.
So.
I guess one thing we should talk about, just because I do want to squeeze this topic in here. Brown podcast. What does that mean? We're a brown podcast, but we're not los ricos chicos.
I don't know where that came from.
Did I?
Dude,
but I like that los ricos chicos. Fuck off.
That's the first podcast in Chris's empire of podcasts that he wants to build.
Dude, that's gonna be the spinoff we do. Like
Los
this is the
Ricos
podcast.
Chicos.
Los ricos chicos. Hell yeah.
Yeah. After Chris turned Sella to a parking lot.
One day I'm going to turn all of Southeast Los Angeles into a parking lot, and the only thing left will be on Chancellor Street, where my childhood home is, and that's going to be a museum to myself, where outside there is a statue of older me holding hands with baby me. It's going to be fucking
calling
sick.
it right now. You think this is a joke?
Oh.
You'll see in 2030.
We'll see you in court.
Better start packing those bags, Sella.
Start keeping your receipts. We'll see you soon.
Chris is gonna turn into the villain everyone always knew he was.
And then the Us podcast is just gonna be used to like, here is the inner workings of a sociopath.
Yeah, it's just like
how he promised one way of life to people and completely.
And then Chris is like,
them.
I'm gonna turn Sella into a parking lot.
We always joke about that. Like, dude, like, what if you and me were like
the
shitty, scummy versions of us are just trying to use this to get fame to turn Sella into a big parking lot.
Just like we get one sponsor, it's like, hey, I don't know how we would get the power to sell all of these cities to someone, but in our fantasy,
we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah, man. I think the best thing to come out of this Us podcast is how different we are from any other podcast. I just had a Skype interview recently, and they asked me about the podcast. They're looking at my interview, and they're like, so tell me about this podcast that you have. And I forgot I had that on my resume, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, oh yeah. And then I had to talk about it, and they seemed really impressed. I was like, oh yeah, I can use this as a professional kind of thing.
I forgot that I could do it. So I forgot that like the thumbnails I do, the edits, I'm like, oh yeah, these are samples.
Yep.
Duh. I was like, oh shit.
It's like you edit all of those. Like that is our on-camera fucking a bunch of stuff for reels if we ever do make reels, you know. And it just shows like our personality better than anything else would. Recently, this showrunner named Steve Canals. One of it wasn't recently. I recently read this article where he was just talking about he's a creator of the show called Pose. And he talked about it's a fucking show about POC trans folks. And he talked about how when you first taken this pilot around, everyone was like, no one's ever going to make this. Like, you'll never get the support. And he basically said he wrote it because he wanted a piece of his writing, if someone read it, to be like, if you are even thinking of hiring me for something, this is what you need to know about me. Like, this is what I am. This is what I'm into. This is how I write. So if you're going to like work with me, you will find everything you need to know about who I am and how I work with this piece. And I was like, wow, what a smart way to what a smart way to frame like the things you make, right? Like if you view this or read this, this is literally a piece of me. Like everyone says, oh yeah, you know, this film is a piece of me, but not all of them are, you know, like some people will be like, this thing means so much to me. It's like, really, this movie meant a lot to you? We are back after some technical difficulties, but good thing we're wrapping up this episode. Chris, any last thoughts on being a podcaster?
Yeah, I mean, I guess the point I was trying to make was just, you know, I've been wondering, I'm like, why don't we get a little, you know, the same energy of support as we, you know, like these other podcasts where, I mean, it's great, you know, they're like, you know, obviously female driven, which is awesome. I mean, I'd rather there be more emphasis on those podcasts anyway, but it feels like sometimes, like, damn, like, sometimes, you know, sometimes it just feels like
People are sleeping on us, like I said.
yeah, but I also it makes me feel like guilty to be a guy, and I think that's why with this season, I was telling you earlier, I don't know if I ever said this on the show either, but like I wanted this season to explore like what is non-toxic masculinity looks like embracing your manly side,
embracing being a guy.
yeah, being a guy, because like I'm like I don't think we should feel bad for being guys, but then I guess then that leads into my next fear of just like, but nobody really cares about the brown guy podcast because we're guys and we're just probably gonna talk about girls and whatever. And like, yeah, we will, but you know, I like.
We're also sad.
Yeah, we're also sad too.
We're also funny.
But yeah, but I mean, but why not? You know, why not a male equivalent where we don't talk down on any other genders, we don't talk down on any other ways of life. We're just like, we're men. We love being men.
Men are better.
Yeah, we're men. We love being men.
Chris said yes.
Yes. We're men, we love being men, and but we, you know, we don't want to we're not trying to impose on your way of life. We're just.
Chris just wants to fucking man spread in peace.
I just want to man spread in peace, you know.
Leave him alone.
We can all do it together.
But
just
want to fucking scratch my balls in public and talk about my dick all day, man. I want to fucking grow out my facial hair, dog.
Talk about.
What's so bad about that? You want to talk about fucking pussy all day?
Oh, I'm gonna use that out of context, there, Joe. I'm not gonna say it. I'm gonna have him be the only one on clip saying that.
Chris is gonna edit this to sound like I'm the one that's like
check out this new episode of the podcast where Angel says, "Man, I want pussy all day." I'm like, it gets pretty wild.
Yes,
it's a fact.
Yeah.
No, but don't. Okay. I guess it's too late to really to start arguing for a cause right now.
10 episodes in.
It's too late to start fighting guys, but don't sleep on the boys too. You know, boys, be nicer, be healthier. Just don't sleep on us. You know, because like girls, it's their time to shine. We love the women. We love our ladies. We respect them. We cherish them. We value them. But guys, we need some love too.
And
we're creators.
In the morning, it's girls.
We're equal creators. You know?
Girls.
People probably will think that's very problematic. Like, you guys get enough. Whatever. I don't want to open a whole nother can of worms. That's just my hot take.
Maybe not. Who knows? All we know is that we're two brown boys. We also exist in the podcast space.
And
we also have a podcast. We're trying to be as fucking inclusive and non-problematic as possible. Lord knows Chris had a rough first season, man.
That's honestly why I also call it a prequel too, because like polar opposite, I think, from like who I was then to who I am now. Yeah, same energy, but not as unwoke. I'm very woke.
We've evolved into cool people, so fucking pay attention.
So wake up.
But at the same time, like, we're trying to wrap this up, but at the same time, I like that we don't feel like we have a lot of eyes on us because we feel like we're bold. Today I was thinking about how I talk shit about Ava DuVernay on an episode, and I'm like, man, that's just gonna come back to me one of these days.
Vina's gonna come back to you real hard.
Hey, I think Sarah's the one that says things, or maybe it's also me.
It's for sure you.
I'm gonna re-edit it.
And then the director of Coco will be mad at me. Whatever.
Coco, fucking Sylvester Stallone's gonna be pissed. The girl from Rambo's gonna be pissed.
Yvette, don't be mad.
Dude, Raul Castillo's gonna be pissed.
Oh, whatever.
Hector's gonna eat.
Hector, it's like, we kind of love you, but we're also clowning you a little bit.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see how me and Chris are perceived in the future. Because people are gonna hopefully listen to this, watch, and they're gonna be like, hey, you know those two guys that are doing things? They had this whole ass episode where they just talk shit about
George Lopez.
George Lopez.
Oh, dude, public enemy number one for us. Dude, George Lopez is gonna become the villain of the show.
Dude, he comes and tries to shut us down. And I'm like, fuck you, George Lopez.
I'm like, no, George, I love you.
Anyway, doing the podcast is fun.
We love it. I love it. And you know what? I don't care that if I don't care if nobody's watching. No.
I love it. That's all that matters.
I love it. That's all that fucking matters. No, I do. And you know what? Like, if any opportunity to hang out with Angel and just document our fucking awesome conversations, like, that's honestly just for your benefit. I get to have this privately. Yeah. This is just, you get a piece of it. And we're just leaving, peek. You know what? At the end of the day, we're just leaving our footprint on this earth. That's all this really is, right?
Yep. A fucking time capsule.
So whatevs, you know? We're just having fun.
Thanks for coming on this ride with us.
Thanks again to Oscar for riding with us for 10 episodes.
Hell yeah, man. Thank you for everyone that told us how much they like the podcast. Mm-hmm. Thanks to everyone who like checks up on us and is like, how's the podcast going, yo? It's cool.
Yeah, and shout out to Brianda. She sent me a message recently. She's like, hey, she's just like, I want you to know, like, I see you guys. Like, I see your consistency. Like, keep it up. Like, this is how things get successful.
Fuck yes.
So thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
Means a lot.
And yeah, man, I guess we're going to keep doing it until one of us breaks or one of us gets $100 million to go make a movie, maybe Avengers 5.
We'll just have to wait
and see. Who knows? Or until Oscar fucking gets rid of us. But whichever comes
out of his house.
Whichever comes first, we'll be here. And so I hope this episode kind of puts all the future and past episodes into a new light.
And you know, it was also just nice to just talk, not have to perform, to just be low energy and just like that, have that be okay. Because at the end of the day, podcasts are just about winding down after your day from work and just listening in.
It's tiring sometimes to be like, Rambo, you fucking motherfucker! How could you kill all my fucking ancestors like that, Rambo?
Yeah.
Like, that's fun to do, but at the same, like, afterwards, you're just like,
yeah, but you don't pay us yet to do that.
Yeah. But it's really fun, and I hope, you know what? The Mule, you're coming up next.
Oh, we're coming for you, baby.
We're coming for you, Clint
Nacho
motherfucking
Libre.
Eastwood.
Nacho Libre's, you're on our sides too, boy.
Julia Roberts and your peppermint bullshit.
Julia Roberts, fucking Jennifer Garner.
Oh, oops.
Because even when we lose,
we win.
We win.
We win. Bye.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chris. Thanks for listening to another fucking awesome episode of the Us Podcast.
Level 2.
If you want to follow me on Instagram, you can follow at the Chris Carmona.
You can follow me at Angel I Salinas _
Make sure to follow the podcast on Instagram at Us Podcast and check out our YouTube channels because we really need that support from y'all right now.
Listen to us on Spotify, listen to us on Apple Music, listen to us on Stitcher, literally anywhere you can get your podcast.
You literally have no fucking excuse not to listen to us, bitch.
Whoa!
I'm back, baby! Just kidding. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Oh, thanks, y'all.
Holy shit. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
Hell yeah. I felt